Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers and grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
Hey, FitBody Lifers, welcome to another FitBody Lifestyle Fusion Hack. And today we are going to, well, first of all, let's talk about who we have here. We have my work wife and my wife and my work brother. I don't know. Jamie keeps introducing.
He's my work husband.
He's
so
work
what does
husband.
that make you?
I don't know. We're getting close to an episode of what is it, Mormon Wives or something? I don't know.
God. This is like just going somewhere totally wrong now. This is like, no.
That's why you never let me start an episode.
Yes.
Anyway,
true.
we are joined by Coach Extraordinaire, Mr. Drew Brannon, and Jamie D, my love of my life. And today we are going to, so this is building on our episodes about the Olympia and how precision and the details matter. And you probably heard us talk about that a lot. I think it was the theme that ran through all of those episodes. Every detail matters, especially at that Olympia level. And the way to make those details matter is to start building in those habits now and understand the difference. We talked a little bit in one of those episodes about understanding the why. So as an athlete, you need to understand why you're doing something that you're doing. Why am I measuring my food? Why am I using this food instead of another food? Why are, you need to understand those why parts of it. And part of understanding that why also means that you're questioning yourself. It's very easy to get into check the box mode. And I think we see that a lot on some check-ins where I'm in the check the box mode. Man, I don't want check the box mode. If check the box mode means that you are not present in your day and you're not questioning yourself as you're doing certain things and you're just going off of rote memory, that's where we can get into problems. And that's kind of what we wanted to talk in this Fusion Hack was the importance of precision and what I would title from my infantry instructor who gave me this is go ahead.
I was going to say it with you.
Use precise terms precisely.
That was good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That was
okay.
Very homogenous.
So you want to kick this off?
Yeah, I mean, we just want to touch base on a couple of things that we see are happening a little bit more frequently than we maybe want to see, and specifically on the topic of food and tracking of sodium and using the correct measurement, whether that is a half a teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon, an eighth teaspoon, and making sure that we're being precise with what we're doing, what we're reporting and logging, as well as like raw weight versus cooked weight and what entry are we using. And, we are a macro-based approach team. So we do heavily rely on MyFitnessPal for our coaching platform. But
even if you're doing a meal plan, measurement still right.
It's the same.
Right. If I tell you need a quarter of a teaspoon of salt in each meal and you are using a teaspoon,
it's a lot different.
Yeah. I mean, and we see these things.
Yes.
I mean, even at the higher levels, that's why this is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. From true novice athletes, obviously, to Olympians. We've seen this happen with all. But it's just a matter of crossing your T's and dotting your I's and being as precise as possible. Sometimes as a coach, things don't add up, and we're maybe pushing sodium or pushing food, lowering food, whatever it might be, and we're expecting a specific outcome. And there's been some cases this year for myself and for you, Jamie, where it just hasn't quite added up to paint the picture we were thinking.
Right. So, and at times then we're questioning, is the athlete doing what we're asking them? And then, and then you don't want to think they're not telling us one thing, doing, no, they're swearing. No, I swear I'm doing it. And then come to find out,
something was off.
Right. And it wasn't intentional at all.
No.
But, I just would say, like, if there's a choice, I'd always prefer weight over volume measurement. So grams or ounces, I like grams ideally, but grams or ounces versus a teaspoon, tablespoon, cup, half a cup. I mean, there's multiple reasons. One, you're more accurate typically. Second, you're not having to carry around all these other little measurement tools, or if you're even in your kitchen, you're not having to dirty every single thing. You're putting your, plate or bowl on the scale, you're zeroing it out and you're adding, the things to it. You're just going to be more accurate that way. I have caught people, whether you're on a meal plan or not. If I tell you your meal plan and you're going to eat a half a cup of rice and you think I'm talking about raw weight, you're eating a big old bowl of rice.
Yep.
It's just an example, but even, I see people that are logging and they're like, one small banana.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a small banana? Is that 50 grams? Is that 40 grams? Is that 80 grams? Like, what do you consider a small banana? Like,
Precise terms, precisely.
right. And these things matter, guys. Like, if you're a lifestyle,
Cooked veggies too. I'm seeing that a lot recently, where we're logging raw weight. They'll prep a lot of veggies and then cook them down. They lose a lot of weight. So it's like, wow, I want 300 grams of asparagus. No, that's maybe raw weight, but that is not cooked weight. Would be a lot different.
well, and I'm glad that you brought up the veggies, because a lot of people think that's free,
Yeah, no.
and it's not. There's multiple pieces to that, right? So there are some calories, even though there's less, but and some carbs, but there's also fiber. Like, you could do too much fiber and end up bloating. There's
Sugar and
sodium,
asparagus.
there's potassium, there's micronutrients that we're also looking to control. So if you're just kind of throwing all these things in thinking, oh, this is a free food, it's not a big deal, then you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Interested in changing your life or stepping on stage? Join FitBody Fusion today.
Experience the FitBody Fusion difference with tools, knowledge, and community support to reach your healthy and sustainable lifestyle.
We guide thousands on their fitness journeys, from seasoned athletes to those who are simply seeking a healthier life.
Our expert coaches provide personalized plans and unwavering support, empowering you to thrive.
FitBody Fusion is more than just training. It's a community. We understand the challenges of solo fitness journeys, which is why we foster a supportive environment where members encourage and motivate each other.
Join the FitBody Fusion community today and unlock your full potential.
Head to fitbodyfusion.com to sign up for a free consultation.
And do it today. This is part of the, I guess the mantra, the philosophy, cornerstone of FitBody, which is logging the food, measuring the food creates the awareness. When you first start doing it, it's clunky. It's like running through mud. Okay, it's clunky to do it. To build that habit, as you build that habit, you start building that awareness, so that you know approximately how many 25 grams or 50 grams or 100 grams of rice, of cooked rice, is versus what would be 50 grams of cooked rice or whatever. But the more you log, the more awareness you get. When you are in peak week or when you're in prep in particular, that's when precision really matters. When you're not in prep, precision still matters, but having that awareness, okay, I'm out to dinner and I don't have my scale. I can approximate what 50 grams of rice is based on these other portions that I've made. It builds that habit, it builds that awareness. Logging food really is the key to successful, because the more, like, I know with Jamie, she logged food for so long, and Drew has logged food for so long, they can look at something and approximate how many grams that is, and that way they can translate into how many calories that is and what they're doing, or relative to whatever macro that they want to build that habit now. That's really why we emphasize the importance of doing this, because
Master the skill.
You're invested. Yeah, master the skill.
Right. And I love that you said that too, because there's different phases of life. Certainly if you're in a lifestyle phase or even in a growth phase, a lot of times I like to give a certain level of intuitive eating. Like, I don't want to wear an athlete out, like being so specific every single little gram of, of salt and of things like that. But we're really, when we're talking about being so precise, we're talking about during prep, and then especially the closer you get to show, and then during peak week especially. We've seen physiques change in a matter of hours when these mistakes are made.
Yeah, for sure.
And as a coach, sometimes we're completely at a loss, like, what's going on? This is not what should be happening. And then we dig and dig and dig, and finally we figure it out. Well, maybe it's too late to.
I've heard you have this conversation several times. 3,500 calories for a pound, and if I'm not adding 3,500 calories and 2 or 3 pounds are being added on the physique, something is off here. I mean, am I saying that right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, when we talk about losing and gaining
Yeah.
body fat, but I feel like during peak week, like we're really manipulating water more than anything
Yep.
else. And that's what you're talking about is like, we're not gaining or losing a lot of body fat typically during peak week. I mean, during peak week, we kind of have the physique we have. At that point, we're manipulating the look. So a lot of that has to do with water and electrolyte balances and things like that. Like how much fiber, like how are we filling out the stomach versus, getting the muscles to fill out? Do we want them to look a little softer? Do we want them a little harder, a little tighter? But this is where the details matter.
Yeah, and if the athlete has full control over that, when we pull the levers, we can get X response. It's frustrating when it's not all tracked appropriately and we're trying to get X response and we're not seeing it. It's difficult because
Right.
you and I've talked about this recently. Like we feel like we're at a point with our coaching capacity that we can really change a physique in 12 hours. If
Literally.
we land on a Thursday night, look at a girl and we're like, we're not quite there. It's not, oh crap, like we're not going to have a good weekend. We can definitely pull some levers here and make a change. So I think but for that to work, the athlete does have to be in a really good rhythm with things like that.
Right. We have to have data. And I just want to really encourage communicate.
Yep.
And if you make a mistake, and this is something we've run into lately, because I know sometimes people are embarrassed and they don't want to tell you that they messed something up. But it's like if the data we have is skewed and we're relying on that data to make future decisions. Okay, when I did this happened. When I did that, this happened. Because each person's physique is a little different in the way it responds to things. Now, if we think we did one thing and something happened and we're wanting to replicate that down the road, but you actually did something different. You accidentally did extra or didn't do enough or timing was off and then you didn't express it. Now, all of a sudden, our ability to then make the proper decision for your physique is going to be diminished. So, and that's with all coaches. So you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't communicate.
It's the same thing if something's bothering you in a workout, you're doing a particular movement, you're experiencing pain, you don't want to tell your coach, then, we can't help. And it's the same thing of, oh my God, I just realized I thought TSP was tablespoon. And okay, it's not, it's teaspoon, and that's okay. Let's figure out, and then we adjust our data based on what that differential is in consumption. So is there anything else? I was going to maybe wrap it up with a couple of just thoughts. Okay.
You're good.
So if we just summarize some of these things, it's one, just recognize the precise terms precisely, be curious, question your own processes, measure weight versus volume. The key, the vision I would give you there is a cup of blueberries is going to be different than that same measurement in grams, because there is air between all the blueberries. So if you want those extra blueberries, measure it in grams, because you'll get extra if you do that. Maybe that's the incentive there. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Tell your coach, because that helps us help you. We make that mistake, we learn from it, we build from it, that adjust the data, because everything matters in this sport in terms of the data that we collect and how we understand how your body works. And I think the last thing that I would say is just recognize that this is not about being perfect. This is about making progress. So, that communication, that awareness, that curiosity that you want to have for your own process so that you're building in these habits is something we want to sustain. And maybe that last thing is log your food to build that awareness and that habit. It's just something that the more you do, the better you're going to get at it. It's going to serve you in off season. It's going to serve you on your vacations. It's going to serve you all the time.
Okay, I'm going to add one more
Okay.
last thing.
We're not at that many lasts.
Just
Okay.
kidding. I really recommend also just double check things when you are logging them. So whether it's
Yep.
MyFitnessPal or one of the other awesome apps that we have out there. Sometimes there are entries in there that aren't correct. So just double check, and especially if you're in prep or in peak week, sometimes micronutrients aren't logged or, I just had this happen just recently. And the person even scanned the item on their barcode and it was not correct. So it doesn't hurt just to kind of double check it. Most of the time when we're in prep, we're reusing things over and over. So the first time you log it, just make sure that whatever you're logging is correct, and then you can use that one ongoing from that point forward.
If it goes in your mouth, log it. All right, we ready?
Yeah.
To everybody, remind you to like, comment, subscribe, leave your reviews. And we're going to go through the 3 Bs. We've been rehearsing this now several times, so
We're
I think
good
we
at
got
it
it
now.
wired. All right, be good to yourself.
Be good to each other.
Be safe.
Yay, we did it again.
Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBody Fusion.